Welcome to the FRC Top 25 for Week 2 of the 2026 rebuilt season. Week 2 brings a whole new set of teams and a few familiar faces to the mix. We're going to count down the top 25, debut our clips of the week, and have some healthy debate with the live chat, and of course to see who got snubbed as well too. Let's get ready for the FRC Top 25. This video on fun is brought to you by our viewers, supporters, members, and also in partnership with the following. It isn't too late to order competition apparel for your team at FRC Tees. Founded by FRC alumni and offering a free 14-day turnaround with expedited options available, go to frctees.com to see why hundreds of teams are making FRC Tees their first choice for their apparel needs. That's frctees.com. As you're getting ready for the competition season, think AnyMark as your one-stop shop for all your team needs. AnyMark's Launcher in a Box is a configurable solution that so many teams are finding success with for the rebuilt season. Also available at anymark.com, the AMPD AnyMark power distribution board that provides 24 40-amp independently fused output channels for safe, reliable power distribution. That's anymark.com. Welcome to the FRC Top 25. It is week 2 of the 2026 rebuilt season for Fun Robotics Network. I'm Tyler Olds.
I'm Ryan Swanson.
I'm Ari McMahon.
I'm James Osterhaus, and week 2 was another great week of rebuilt. Got to see a lot of the traditional juggernauts play, and it's been fun to watch. I'm excited to next week be at my first in-person competition. But Ari, Ryan, let's start over with you. Ari, what have you been watching so far?
Looking at a lot of different places play the game very differently. I think this season has been really fun to watch the evolution of the game and how different areas are playing different ways. I really enjoyed watching the Finger Lakes Regional this past week. I think it was one of my favorite events that I've seen so far. So definitely cool to watch and have my eyes on some pretty cool events for week 3 as well. Ryan, what were you watching?
Yeah, for me, I kept it local. I watched the Great Northern Regional in Grand Forks, North Dakota. We have a lot of local teams, good friends of our team up there competing. It was a very weird regional that ended in a very predictable way. A lot of teams, rookie teams, second-year teams, rankings super high. The rankings weren't what I would have expected going into the event. But at the end of the day, Tool Cats 32-76, maybe the best team in Minnesota over the last few years, won their 5th regional in a row and did so in pretty good fashion. So fun event, really fun game. I love how it's evolving and excited to dive in and talk a little bit about how the elite level teams are playing during this FRC Top 25 show. Tyler, how about you?
I was out contracted for a different set of events, but I did tune in a bit for the Finger Lakes Regional and also the New England North Shore events because we had Kristine and Justin both have teams there as well to cheering them on. So shout out to Neutrons for a great win at that. Very close set of matches at Finger Lakes Regional as well too, with 30-15 losing by just 1 point in finals was pretty wild. So I've been there. It's a gut punch every time you take that, but definitely still looking good, Justin. So I know they got a lot to look forward to in future events as well. So James, were you watching anything this past weekend personally?
Yeah, second week in a row for me. Had the Blue Alliance game day, 9 events running, and that's always a good time. Got the full set of 6 Michigan events for the first time, so that was pretty fun. Got to tune into some awesome California matches, as well as the FMA Seneca event. I thought was also a pretty fun one to watch. Yeah, we'll talk a lot more about those throughout the show, but great weekend. I'm excited to be. This is my last weekend watching from home. Every other week I'll be at an event now, so looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Well, hey, before we get into the top 25, just some reminders of things. A big shout out to our friends at Robotics.io and the Blue Alliance for a lot of the stats and data that we get for things. Just incredible resources for the community. And we know most of you know about that already, but we always want to thank them for the service that they provide for the community as well. So a lot of stats you're going to see on there from our friends at Robotics on there. And we also use a lot of that too for our fantasy league as well, which we'll talk about later. But just a lot of great stuff with that. Also a note, we've had votes come in for teams that either competed in previous weeks, haven't competed yet or anything like that. Just a reminder to only vote for teams that compete in the current week for things. And unfortunately, our Israel events are not going to be, or teams that are associated will not be on this, even though they were supposed to compete. Those events are currently postponed. So if those events get up and running, hopefully they do before championships, we'll just slot those teams in to whatever weeks those are. So keep an eye out on future polls if the events in Israel are able to get going as well too. So, but we do have lots of teams to talk about, and let's just jump right into it. Starting out in number 25, Ryan, why don't we jump into our week 2 FRC top 25?
From Boise, Idaho, it's team 21-22, Team Taters. Team Taters come out strong in 2026 with a 14-1 record in official play. They made that performance count at the Arizona North Regional. 21-22 finished as the number 1 seed, won the event, and also picked up the Industrial Design Award, putting together a very impressive weekend. Their playoff alliance consistently scored in the upper 300s and peaked at a very strong 465 points. This robot really stands out visually and functionally. It's a tall machine, large hopper, triple wide shooter, and can move a lot of fuel in a hurry. When they get loaded up, they can really let it fly, and that makes the scoring package even more dangerous, as when they're accurate from anywhere in the alliance zone, giving them a ton of flexibility during their matches. But the part of this robot that might be the most impressive is really how smoothly they move. 21-22 has some of the cleanest bump driving I've seen, and the raised center section of their bumpers clearly gives them the ability to handle that terrain with confidence. Pair that with a highly effective, high-speed, compliant wheel intake, and this robot can keep itself in rhythm and keep points coming. Team Taters is looking polished, efficient, and deserving of a spot in the top 25.
Yeah, Taters, I mean, as a team, we look like pre-COVID and stuff. I always felt like every single week we're talking about them, and maybe not as much in the last few years, but I mean, last year they won at Idaho, had a couple wins in 2024 as well, too. So it seems like they're really back on the rise again. And always a team I love to talk to and see. So I'm delighted to see them back on the top 25.
Their intake could be a shooter, by the way. The way they launch fuel up into their hopper, it's great.
No, definitely a cool team overall. So, all right, let's go into number 24. Who do you got?
In our 24th spot from New York, and Stuyvesant High School, it's Stuypulse. With a record of 10-5-0, they were finalists and winners of the Engineering Inspiration Award at the Finger Lakes Regional. Although they got off to a little bit of a slow start in practice matches in their first few qualifications, 694 would prove themselves one of the best robots at the event with their turreted shooter and short hopper. With a top 3 event OPR, they played through 3 of the most exciting finals matches I have seen so far this season, where the regional would be decided by just a single point. They'll no doubt be looking to improve on an already impressive performance in the coming weeks, and we'll see them next at the beginning of week 6 at the Gotham Regional. Good luck, 694. This robot is so weirdly complicated in different ways, and I love just seeing how it all pieced together on the field and actually came together to work. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, 694 is always putting out really cool robots like that. Excited to watch them continue to develop. I mean, maybe they'll skip a regional and rebuild their whole robot again this year. But yeah.
Hey, they have time.
You never know.
Never know.
I was just going to say, we had a Stuypulse on for the Open Alliance show back in week 3. So if you want to see how some of their progress work, make sure you go check out their Open Alliance blog too, and just kind of see how all this came together. But always one of those top teams. And we mentioned before, I think we'll be talking about 3015 a little bit too, spoilers. But these matches here at FLR were so cool. So make sure you do get a chance to watch them. And I think we will have a finalist actually on FLR 3 coming out in a couple days. All right, let's go into 23, James.
Yeah, here we go. Coming in hot at number 23, it's Team 1540, the Flaming Chickens, hailing from Catlin Gable High School in Portland, Oregon. The Flaming Chickens have already won 2 district events and are ranked first in the Pacific Northwest District. With an impressive 32-2-0 record, Team 1540 is the team to beat here in PNW. They have a large hopper and effective turret, combined with a respectable BPS for a single stream. What particularly impressed me with their gameplay was their passing abilities. Accurately feeding from every location on the field, even the other alliance zone, 1540 is really made to play rebuilds at the highest level. I can't wait to see how they continue to develop throughout the season. The Flaming Chickens are back in action in week 4 at the Clackamas Academy event, where they'll be a favorite to add a 3rd gold medal to their collection. Congratulations to the Flaming Chickens on an excellent performance thus far, and your number 23 ranking in the FRC Top 25 for Week 2.
Yeah, here we go at number 22 from Spencerport, New York. The chat has been talking about them. It's Team 3015, Ranger Robotics. Ranger Robotics is off to a strong start at 12-3 in the official play in 2026, and they made a huge impression at the Finger Lakes Regional. 3015 finished ranked 2, captained the number 2 alliance, earned the Autonomous Award, and pushed all the way to finals where, as we mentioned, they lost by a single point in Finals 3, 346 to 345, as close as it gets. This robot absolutely looks the part of a top 25 machine. It's a low robot, double shooter, high throughput, really strong double swipe auto mode, helps them come out firing right away. They can score quickly. They can pressure you early. They have all the kind of offensive profile that makes them really dangerous in any playoff bracket. And I'm going to take the time to monologue a little bit. There was a Chief Delphi thread that was super relevant, posted by 6907, speaking to the challenges that referees have and with the way the game design is, that offensive robots are getting penalties for playing offense, and defensive robots are putting themselves in a position to draw penalties like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does for the Thunder. I'd like to say that I feel really bad for 3015 coming up just a point short, penalties having an impact in that match. But even with that tough ending, 3015 absolutely proved they belong in this.
Oh, Ryan, we lost you there for a second.
Noise again soon. Their next event is the Greater Pittsburgh Regional in Week 3, and they're a team worth watching really closely.
Yeah, I mean, 3015, a team that's very near and dear to many of us, is one of Fun Founders, Justin, who will be on the FRC Top 25 in future weeks, is a huge part of it as well, too. So congratulations, 3015, and we can't wait to see your continued improvement throughout the season. Coming up on number 21, Ari, let's go up to Canada.
From Kingston, Ontario, Canada, it's Waffles. With a record of 14-3-0, they were district event finalists and winners of the Impact Award at the Ontario District Durham College event. This robot probably holds the most amount of fuel that I have seen a single team hold this year. With their wide intake and turreted shooter, they collect from high ball density areas and score from almost anywhere. With that much weight in their robot, they are a rock under defense. They've already got one trip to the finals under their belt, and with 4 more weeks before their next event, they're sure to turn up their rate of fire and not waffle for their next event. We'll see them next at the Ontario District Niagara College event in Week 6. Good luck, 4476.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see on this the stream that we have on here. I'm not quite sure what's up with the quality of it, but it's very weirdly stretched, right? But they're that big robot that's in the middle right now, right? Like that, with running that die rotor and that huge intake. Is that right, Ari?
So bottom right corner right now, it's Leo.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so yeah. See, I couldn't even. The one in the middle kind of looked like their color on there, so my bad. So, okay, so I just wanted to clarify where they were actually on screen for that. So, all right, so Waffles overall, congratulations on number 21. Let's go to 20th and back in the New England, James.
Yeah, stepping into the ring at number 20, it's the Northeastern Powerhouse Team 195, the Cyber Knights from Southington, Connecticut. 195 has put out yet another robot to be proud of. Following the big dumper archetype, the Cyber Knights claimed their first blue banner of the season at the Western New England District event. With a solid 13-4 record, 195 ranked 4 and was selected to join the number 1 alliance alongside 176 Aces High. They ran the table and posted an event high score of 573 in the finals too. Their 146.4 total EPA is an impressive feat and sure to continue to increase throughout the season. They compete next at the Week 5 UVM event, which is certainly a stacked Northeast event. Can't wait to watch that one. Be sure to tune in to watch our number 20 team take on a valiant battle. Congratulations, Team 195, the Cyber Knights, on a great robot and a start to the 2026 season.
I think 195 must have a black hole somewhere in their robot, because I have no idea how they hold as much fuel as they do. They have a 4 wide shooter, so they literally are evacuating their entire hopper in literally like 2 or 3 seconds. It is a thing of beauty to watch, and I can't wait to see. I'll be at Vermont this year, so I can't wait to see this robot in person. I'm excited and very scared.
I'm jealous.
Not very many 4 wide shooters. That's a design choice that I think a lot of people shied away from. They figured, we can only fit 3 and went that direction. Those that went 4 are really paying dividends.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next up at number 19 from San Jose, California, it's Team 581, the Blazing Bulldogs. 581 comes in with a 12-6 official record in 2026. And while that number may not jump off the page compared to others on this list, the context really matters. At the Silicon Valley event, the Blazing Bulldogs finished ranked 3, earned the Autonomous Award, and ended as district event finalists. They also had to fight through a really, really tough qualification schedule with losses coming against 254, 9470, and 972, which is about as tough of a draw as you get. In playoffs, 581 captain Alliance 2 alongside 3256 and 4990, and that group put together a strong run with a peak score of 428 points. In the finals, they just didn't have quite enough raw offensive firepower to keep pace with 254 and 9470. And when they tried to pivot into a more defensive strategy to bridge the gap, it ended up backfiring a little bit. Still, getting to that point in this loaded event says a lot about how good 581 really is. On the field, 581 is a highly effective and well-driven machine. They're a low robot with a corner turret and a high firing rate, which gives them a really dangerous scoring profile. Their double swipe auto is especially notable because it scans the neutral zone more aggressively than any other robot I think I've seen. It's a bold and very effective routine that helps set the tone for them right away. This is a smart, capable robot that has already proven it can hang with the elite competition. Their next event is the Pinnacles event in week 4. And if you feel like the Blazing Bulldogs are
Well, I think we lost you there again at the end there, Ryan. But agree with your statement that Blazing Bulldogs, great robot so far. Enjoyed watching them. Think they got kind of the right archetype to compete at a high level. We'll see what they can do at their other district events. Really glad that California's in districts. We'll get to see them continue to play throughout the season. And yeah, their Auton especially really impressive. What did you guys think, Ari and Tyler?
Definitely think they're making use of that corner turret, especially when they shoot from just to the side of the trench sometimes. I really like when teams are doing that this year. I think it's the right archetype for them, and I'm excited to see where they go from here.
All right, let's move on to number 18.
Gonna move on to number 18. Who are you gonna call? From Monterey and Prepatech Eugenio Garza Sada, we have for the second week in a row, Botbusters with a record of 31-0. They were the regional winners at Regional Monterey and took home the Autonomous Award. Putting up event high scores in the high 300s, 46-35 showed off their skills this week with their experience from week 1 paying off. Clearly the team and Alliance to beat at the event, and due to an unfortunate connection, they'd lose their first match of the season by 1 point, sending them to the lower bracket in playoffs. They'd rally from there, though, putting up the event high score of 397 in match 13 before winning back-to-back matches to take the event. We'll see them next at the Bayou Regional, but good luck, 46-35.
And of course, you can watch their behind the bumpers video as well too. That was filmed last week. If you want to get a really good in-depth look of how awesome this robot is.
Yeah, talk about an underrated robot. 18 is too low for this robot. 31-0, 2 regional wins. I loved watching the Botbusters. We'll see if they can be the second Mexican team on Einstein this year because they got a great robot. All right, heading in here to number 17. From League City, Texas, it's the Robonauts. Team 118 is sticking to their compete every week gauntlet schedule. And this week, they decided to go to the McAllen event to dominate. And their 17-0 double gold Kling Bling definitely is the show for that. I love 118's robot this season with a rock-solid level 3 climb that flips like no other, dual turrets, and a ridiculous packaging that I can't wait to see in person. The Robonauts bounce back after missing the finals in week 1. And they won't be looking back from here. They are definitely on a roll and have got things together. 118 also likes to take their Everybot team, Team 10-118, along, who has consistently shown what simple engineering can do. Both 118 and 10-118 have went head-to-head in playoffs in both their week 1 and 2 events, with 118 barely coming out ahead in the first week, but proving a little bit more dominant here in the second week. The pair of them will head to the Houston District event here in week 3 to take on 29 other teams. So be sure to tune in and watch our number 17 team blast off in search of their third 2026 Blue Banner. Congrats, Robonauts, on a really exciting 2026 robot in your spot in the week 2 FRC Top 25.
So, James, what do you think improved with 118? Was it just more practice on it, or did you actually see something in particular that stood out?
Yeah, it seemed like to me that their software improved. It seemed like they had some issues there in week 1. I mean, week 1 comes up pretty fast. Everybody knows that. And it seems like that extra week. And I haven't heard yet if, I know usually in the past couple of years they've been doing 2 robots, if this is the same robot that competed at week 1 or how they're kind of splitting that up this year. But this robot definitely, I mean, they jumped EPA by I think like 35 points across events. Pretty impressive, and I think we'll continue to see that grow. I think there's still room to grow there. So excited to see it. What do you guys think of 118?
I mean, I'll ask the question that we're all thinking is, when are we getting the reveal for this robot?
Yeah.
We haven't had a 118 reveal yet, so when does this robot become good enough to get revealed?
That's interesting. Is that a potential like that? Like, hey, we're gonna wait till we hit this mark that we're confident enough in that we want to show off, sort of thing? Or I feel like there's quite a few teams we didn't get a reveal from this year that had played this week too as well too that we're going to be talking about that we haven't seen like any media for things. So no, it'll be interesting. What I was going to say is this McAllen event was very interesting, by the way, too.
Yeah.
I think they had was it 17 or 19 teams or something like that?
Yeah,
competing. I think it was 3. I think it was 6 alliances of 3, so it had to be 19 for that. So then they had one backup robot. Like, that's just kind of crazy that they run districts with that option even. But I don't I hear Texas is big, so I'm not sure where McAllen, Texas is, or if that's like somewhere that's like way out of the way, because there was a second Texas event that took place, and that one had way more teams. So my guess is that geographically it was just a bit out there compared to what some of the other events were.
Yeah, McAllen is like as far south as you can go in Texas.
Oh, okay.
It's like almost Mexico.
I would have guessed west, because usually it's like that's where nothing is, right? Like it's out at West Texas, but okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, let's hop into number 16. Oh, actually, Ryan, I'm sorry. It's my fault. I have to bring you in because you switched sources, so now I got to switch stuff around. 1 second, and we'll be able to hear you. It's live stuff, guys. This is the way it works, so... All right, Ryan, say something for me.
Hey, test 1, 2, 3.
There we go. All right, go ahead.
All right, at number 16 from Hanover, Maryland, it's Team 9070 Tigerbots. Tigerbots have been outstanding to start 2026, going 33-2 in official play across their first 2 events. They won the Alexandria, Virginia event in week 1, followed it up with another win at the Pasadena, Maryland event in week 2. Both times as the captain of Alliance number 1. Their playoff alliance with 8590 and 1629 was regularly scoring in the mid-300s, and they looked in control the entire way. This team also continues an incredible run of success. 9072 now has won an event in 4 straight years, totaling 6 blue banners, including a Hopper Division win back at Champs in 2024. They know how to build robots that can go deep. What really makes this robot stand out is the design. This is the best double turret implementation that I've seen in the world so far. They managed to hold a large amount of fuel and still fire at a higher rate of fire out of both turrets. It's an extremely difficult thing to pull off, as I've seen locally. There's a ton of technical complexity built into this robot, but Tigerbots make it look smooth. They now get a long break after going back-to-back, and we'll see them return at the first Chesapeake District Championship, where they're absolutely going to be a team to watch.
I do apologize. Looked like the wrong video was pulled up for that one. So sorry to that team. Make sure you do check out some of their match play that they have as well. All right.
The double turret's crazy.
Yes. So, and we do like to try to show that. So, all right. So a couple things before we go into our snubs of the week for stuff. And of course, we getting into our top 15 as well, too. We do want to stop and thank our friends from FRC Tees for their continued support of fun. There have been so many teams now that have been utilizing FRC Tees, and it's not too late. If you're looking at placing an order for late season championships or off season beyond, make sure you check out FRC Tees. Founded by First Alumni, offering some of the best prices you'll find and extremely fast turnaround as well, too. So go ahead over to frctees.com, get a quote from them, and check out all the teams that are utilizing FRC Tees to see if it's a good fit for you. That's frctees.com. Okay, so let's head over to our snubs of the week. So these are teams that fell out of the top 50 that we feel deserve recognition and should be somewhere in the top 50 for it. So each one of us picked a team to talk about, and we're going to head over to Ari to start out our snubs.
Sure. So my snub of the week was Team 340, GRR, Greater Rochester Robotics. Finger Lakes was such a deep event. It was really cool watching sort of a mid-tier develop and play this game of Rebuilt. But 340 was definitely one of the robots that stood up at the top of the crowd. One of the best robots at the event. Their double shooter and large hopper were so good, and especially when their driving too is really a part of what differentiates them from the crowd. So putting up scores in the mid 300s through quals. They had an early out in match 13, but they were the first pick of the number 1 seed. And for such a strong event, that's such an accolade. So they compete next at Greater Pitt, and that is this week, where they will definitely be a top team.
Yeah, my snub of the week over back in homeland for me, Michigan, is Team 35-39, the Biting Bulldogs. They were the winners of the Finn Marysville District event alongside Team 33, the Killer Bees. The first pick of that first alliance, and man, the Biting Bulldogs really showcase what I would consider to be a complete robot. They have an L1 climb that's really consistent. They have huge fuel outputs. This bot is really built to rank and perform at really high levels. I'm excited to see it continue to play throughout FIM, and I thought for sure at least make it in the top 50, if not the top 25, as one of the highest EPA robots in Michigan. Really excited to see how the Biting Bulldogs can continue to perform. Ryan, who do you have for your snub of the week?
Yeah, for me, it's 4089 Stealth Robotics. They competed at the Glacier Peak event, and they ranked first. They went 16-2. They were the event winner. And it's who they beat that I'm calling them out. They beat 2910, but not only beat them, but they chose not to pick 2910, which is just inherently a really gutsy decision. And then to go through and validate that decision with an event win was very, very fun to watch. They also picked up the Quality Award, and shout out to Matthew T for picking up the first Leadership Award. Shout out to their alliance partners as well, 4915 and 1294.
All right, I'm going to give my snub this week to go back up into Canada, and that's going to be to Team 2935. I don't know how to say team name, so I don't know if it's NACI or NACI Robotics or however you say it, but this team caught my attention for competing at the Humber Polytechnic event this week, where they were finalists and the number 1 pick at this event as well, too. So overall, just a couple things that stood out about this team. They only have 1 event win in their entire history, and that was back in 2016. But the last 2 seasons, they've been finalists at their 2 district events. So this robot overall, pretty simple design with a non-turreted 2-wide drum shooter. But this team, when the unguarded, had a huge throughput on it. So I'm really looking forward to see how they can optimize their autonomous modes, how they can handle tough defense in feature ones, because this is definitely a team that could seed number 1 and really take it over top in feature ones as well, too. So congratulations to 2935 for a great week. Let's move on to our top 15. So we're going to go through our top 15, and we'll take a break after 6, showcase our clips of the week, do some top 50 shoutouts, but we're going to go 15 through 6, starting with Ari. Oh, Ari, you're muted. So it's just one of those shows.
I know. We're making sure you're paying attention, and we're.
I'll take the blame for that one too, Ari.
Okay, you can have that one, Ryan. I'll give it to you. Right, starting our top 15 from Windsor Locks, Connecticut, it's Aces High. With a record of 16-1-0, they were the district event winner and winner of the Autonomous Award at the Western New England event. 176 took to the competitive Western New England field with one of the strongest early week showings that this team has had ever. As a low-turreted robot with a die rotor, their shooting and passing game is high tier. Their level of preparation and high-tier calibration allowed them to take the district with one of the highest win margins in finals in competition so far, putting up 573 points in finals 2. This robot is driven like it's week 5. It's like they've had a ton of practice on this thing. Their driver is smart, experienced, and also I love how they have a lot of sweeping motions to kind of push the fuel back into their zone, even if they're not collecting. 176 competes back-to-back weeks this year, so we'll see them next at the Waterbury District this coming week. Good luck, 176.
Yeah, I think that description there, Ari, of like driving it like it's week 5 is super apt. Watching them, they're just very well coached, well practiced team. I had the privilege to play with 176 at the World Championship in 2022 and learned a lot from their drive team. They are just very, well refined team as far as how they operate. So pretty clearly, you see that in their performance. Congrats to them. Great robot. Really cool. All right. Well, heading over to our number 14 team. It's team 5940 Bread from Redwood City, California. Bread went 17-0 this weekend and ranked second, and joining fellow juggernaut team 1323 to pulverize the San Francisco district event. Bread features a slick bot with dueling turrets, a popular archetype to match throughput with finesse. However, in their first match, they did manage to decapitate one of those two turrets, but this two-headed monster didn't stop and still pulled off the win there. Bread boasts a 135.4 EPA, which shows their high ceiling, but still room to grow into. Bread is certainly a contender to win the NorCal DCMP as they improve, and once they clean a few things up, you can already see those sparks of dominance from Bread. I mean, they're undefeated for a reason. 5940 will meet up with their citrusy friends next weekend at Sacramento, and we'll see if they can keep their undefeated streak alive. Congratulations on a fantastic robot once again, and your number 14 spot in the Week 2 FRC Top 25, Team 5940 Bread. What do you guys think of Bread?
That was a fun event to watch. 1323 is super fun, but Bread complemented them perfectly. I was expecting like near challenging world record numbers at that event, and they came up a little short of that, but still incredibly impressive.
All right, let's head over to the number 13, Ryan.
All right. Yeah, we'll stick with the food theme. We'll go from Bread to, at number 13, coming from Georgia, it's Team 1833, Team Bean. Team Bean has been flawless so far in 2026, going 17-0 in official play and putting together one of the most impressive starts anywhere in the world. At the PCH District Gwinnett event, they ranked first, won the event, and earned engineering inspiration. They selected teams 1771 and 11174 to round out their alliance. And this was not a matter of just winning comfortably. Their alliance put up 511 points in the playoffs, which is the kind of number you typically expect from the very, very highest scoring regions in FRC. Their EPA is sitting just shy of 200 points, and between 1833 and 1771, they managed to pull off a 115-point autonomous mode in their 511-point match. What really makes 1833 so dangerous is their shooter design. We mentioned it earlier, but their 4-wide shooter maximizes throughput as well as any robot I've seen this year. At first glance, it almost looks deceptively simple, like something that a lot of teams probably could have built. But in reality, there are very few teams had the confidence to go 4-wide and fully commit to throughput the way that Team Bean did. They made the bold choice, and it's paying off in a huge way. 1833 looks like a legitimate top-end contender, and their next event is the PCH District Gainesville event in Week 5, which should be another big stage for them to show what they can do.
Does anybody remember the history of this team? Because this is only a second-year team. I think they were split off of
1747.
Is it Otto that they split off of?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember because last year I remember they won Gwinnett as well too. So it's definitely a team that, coming out has been extremely impressive so far. So, and honestly, I think it might be giving some of the, when you talk about like Gwinnett or you talk about like Walton or some of those other top teams that you think about in Peachtree, this is the new top dog in my opinion here in Peachtree.
Oh yeah, and they captained the number 1 alliance and winners of the Peachtree DCMP last year too. So
that's
they're no joke.
I mean, in this game, when you're seeing scores over 500, I think California, I think Ontario, coming from PCH, 1833 has put them on notice. Very, very impressive outing.
Absolutely. So with that, we're going to move into our 12 spot. From Guangzhou, Guangdong, China, it's Cyber Unicorn. With an undefeated record of 12-0-0, they were the winners of the Shanghai Regional. Always super cool to see teams from areas that don't get as much of attention, and China is certainly an up-and-coming area with a strong background in FTC and V5RC. 8214's robot is really quick. It's very fast and agile. It scoops up fuel from midfield and passes in very smooth motions. They have a double-wide shooter, and they put up high scores throughout qualifications and playoffs. We'll see them next at the Avrasya Regional in Turkey, Week 5. Good luck, 8214. Very cool to see this robot on the top 25, and really super cool to watch as they go through their playoff matches too. I think the level of play at this event was very interesting to kind of dissect and look at how it's different than what play is looking like in other regions.
So I competed with a couple of Chinese teams in Week 1, and they were competing in the Shanghai event in Week 2. So I was keeping tabs on it, and I noticed a team with an average match over 400 points. And I'm like, oh my God, I had to watch videos, and that was 8214, obviously. And Very impressive machine. They're going to, I hope they're able to make it to the World Championship because I'd love to see them in person.
I cannot wait to see them play with Overcharge at their next regional. That is going to be some crazy matches, guys.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, welcome back, China, right, to playing regionals again. It's in full swing again. It's really cool to see, trying to get events going back again. Ari, I want to point out something on this match, too, that's on here. If you watch the autonomous mode, I don't know if they're or their opponent in this is like a team that's related or not, but like watch this auto. It's literally this dueling auto that happens in here. Yeah, and I love that. I think that looks so cool. I had the double take there for a second, so I'm not sure if the robots look very similar and stuff too. So I'm not sure if they're sibling teams or not, but yeah, very, very impressive amongst these teams. So really cool to see some high level competition coming from China.
The visuals for auto this year are really fun.
Absolutely. Who's up at number 11?
Yeah, so our 11th ranked team is a pretty common face here around fun and FRC top 25 circles. It's Team 125, the Neutrons. Team 125 has one of the best single stream balls per second we've seen in Rebuilt, and don't expect them to stop firing anytime soon. With the floating turret design, their efficient die rotor is simply awesome. I fully expect 125 to continue on their run after a sharp 16-1-0 performance at the New England North Shore District event, where they captained the number 1 alliance and claimed the high score of 464 as well on their way to a blue banner. They sport a 160 EPA and especially have room to grow in their auto performance, so 125 is just getting started. They'll travel to the Greater Boston in the UVM events week 4 and 5, and will certainly be a top contender for each blue banner. Congratulations on a great robot and your number 11 showing in the FRC top 25, Kristine and the Neutrons.
It was funny. We were talking to Kristine last week, and she was mentioning that the 125, team wasn't super happy with where they were at. And now that we see the robot, I have to disagree. I think it's a pretty nice looking robot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's an optimization game. They see where it's going, and they just have to get there.
Yeah.
I think this is just one of those games, too, where until you start playing, it's very nerve-wracking to know where you're at for things. Because you see, when you watch some of these other competitions, you see such high throughput for things, and then you realize, oh, yeah, I can do this, too. But you got to get out on the field sometimes to experience that. So congratulations, Neutrons.
Yeah, awesome robot yet again. Speaking of teams who are regulars here on FRC Top 25, coming in at number 10 from Eindhoven, Netherlands. We missed them last week. It's Team 4481, Team Rembrandts. 4481's 2026 season has a little bit of everything already. Week 1 was a grind. Just about everything that could have gone wrong seemed to go wrong, including a turret decapitation on practice day. But even with that, they fought through to a finalist finish and second overall pick. Then in week 2 in the Yeditepe regional, everything came together. Rembrandts went 16-2, ranked first, won the event, and took home excellence in engineering. Their alliance with 8725 and 10907 peaked at 473 points, and 4481 was the engine behind a lot of that production. This robot combines a spin dexter, turret, and shoot on the move capability in a way that makes them incredibly dangerous once they get into a rhythm. They can score in motion, keep pressure on the field, and make it very hard for defenses to slow them down. Their autonomous is especially impressive. They use a shoot on the move during auto as they run to the neutral zone, clear the depot, and then get back out while continuously streaming fuel the entire time. It is a really advanced sequence that shows both confidence in the robot and a strong understanding about how to maximize their efficiency. Now, the next time we'll see them will be the FRC Championship, and that's what makes it even more exciting. With well over a month to adapt, refine, and optimize the robot and strategy, Team Rembrandts could look even better by the time they hit the world stage.
I thought you were going to say a month to pack in a bunch of different suitcases so they can get it over. But
well, they're the masters at that. But I'll be curious to know what they change with this robot. I mean, I could see them fundamentally pivoting to a wide drum shooter, but I don't know. They also have enough ceiling with their current robot that they can be a threat at Worlds.
Well, the good news is they're definitely one of the teams you can always follow along with on their Open Alliance blog and check out everything that they're doing for that. So Also, I just want to give a big shout out to their alliance partner, Misty Panther 8725, who's from Taiwan, who I was a perfect alliance partner for them and awesome throughput. I think I mentioned them in my snub last week as well too, for being a team that is definitely going to be a force to look out for. Hopefully, they're able to attend Worlds as well. So, but congrats to all the teams winning that event. All right, Ari, who do we got? Number 9.
4481. Yes, we are officially in our top 10. So in our number 9 spot from Sewanee, Georgia, it's North Gwinnett Robotics. With a record of 15-2-0, they were the winner at the PCH District Gwinnett event and winner of the Autonomous Award. Their highly adaptable machine both shoots and passes on the move, wasting no time in the match. By collecting and scoring at the same time, their cycles are efficient and quick. Hitting the supercharged RP twice in quals solidified their first pick status, and they went on to put up the event high score of 5-11 in playoffs. There's a few times within the match that they actually get hit while they are shooting, and they are still able to track the goal even when they're being knocked off of their sight line. And it's those like short little movements that some teams are having trouble still tracking and aligning to the goal with, but 1771 seems to have it down. We'll see them next at the PCH District Albany event, week 4, where they are sure to be a lock. Good luck, 1771.
All right, so now we got to ask the question with this team is where's the wood on the robot?
I think it's the hopper.
Is it?
I think it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it would be, right? Like if let me put it back on. It looks like that would be. I mean, my only question, I mean, with how high impact this game is, like, is that going to last? Like, there's going to be a match where that just gets exploded on, like, right?
I'd be nervous to have one on a robot this year. It's this is probably the most violent game we've had going back to 2014.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? That team has done it for so long; it's hard to question them on anything they've done for that. And there's been other high impact games where they've had one on the robot, but. Yeah, 1771 is an awesome team, awesome robot. Every single year I look forward to seeing this as well, too. And if the hoppers would, like some people in chat are saying, man, bless them for choosing to continue to go that route because that is ambitious. But you know what? It's working out, and it's hard to question because I don't build robots.
If anyone can do it, they can.
Yeah.
And if it does explode, that's what clips of the week are for.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, moving ahead to our number 8 spot, representing Royal Oak, Michigan. It's Team 7769, The Crew. The Crew have been dominant with an outstanding 212.6 total EPA and undoubtedly the best robot we've seen in Michigan thus far. 7769 was never all that contested at the Woodhaven District event, featuring a perfect 17-0 record and a blue banner to show for it. The Crew have engineered a large syringe-style hopper and intake combo and a nice adjustable shooter to match. Their double swipe auto is consistent and puts them out in front every single match. In fact, they've yet to lose an autonomous yet. The Crew will attend their next Metro Detroit event at the loaded Troy District Week 4, which features 8 of the current top 20 Michigan teams by EPA. Expect the Crew to continue their run, and congratulations on a brilliant robot in your number 8 spot in the FRC Top 25. Can't wait to see you guys soon. Great job, the Crew.
So, James, you know, there's a lot of
Michigan so far. Throw that out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was saying there have been a lot of good.
It's going to be fun to see the arms race out there.
There have been a lot of good Michigan teams that have competed this week. What has made the Crew stand out more over those other teams?
Yeah, it seemed like the Crew was just very well practiced, well refined. I can't tell for sure. They have some unique colors on the front of their robot. I can't tell if they're cameras, if they're LEDs, exactly what. Let's check that out on their behind the bumpers that I'm sure we'll get eventually. But it just seems to be that they're very accurate, very well prepared in every moment, and their auton was really unfallable compared to everybody else's. So pretty cool to see.
And that's really the name of the game in week 1 and week 2. If you're ready, most likely your competition's not, and you're putting yourself in a really good spot.
For
All
sure.
right, next up at number 7 from Novo Hamburgo, Brazil, it's team 1156 Under Control. 1156 has been absolutely perfect to start 2026, going 29-0 in official play and winning both of the Brazil events so far, ranking first at both and never taking a loss. It's not just banners on the field either. In just 2 weeks, they've picked up a Volunteer of the Year, Innovation and Control, First Leadership, and Engineering Inspiration Award. Honestly, 1156 has accomplished more in 2 weeks than most programs do in their entire history. At the Sazio Sasco event, they teamed up with 7563 and 1884 and backup bot 7033 to completely dominate the playoffs. They peaked at 424 points. This is a robot that plays with pace, confidence, and an incredible amount of polish. Again, their double swipe auto. Can we shout out 1690 for coining the term double swipe auto? I use it all the time. Even stretches to the outpost after their second run to the neutral zone, giving them a really strong early match punch. From there, Under Control just keeps the pressure on. They fire at a high rate. Their shoot on the move game is excellent. Their cleanup play in the alliance zone is right there with anybody in the world. And on top of that, their feeding software looks completely dialed in, with fuel continuously coming from the neutral zone into the alliance zone for them to clean up during the active window. 1156 looks like a true global contender. And next, they'll head to the Gotham Regional in New York in week 6 before making their way over to Champs 2 weeks later.
I love that this team is getting an opportunity to come and play the States before Worlds as well. And we get to see, how are they going to compete with some of those great teams up in New York for this? Because this obviously, I think coming in has to be your lock coming to that event. And I love to see a team, come in from Brazil like this, and our team that all the other locals are just going to have to really be on the lookout for. So congrats about it.
Go ahead, Tyler.
I was going to say, I really wish, I have a good time at many events I go to. I wish I could have as much fun as the Brazil events have every single year, because it always just looks like they're so well produced. They have such a great time at these events, and everybody I talk to that's attended always says it's just a great party overall. So I just wish I could get to one at some point. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the New York teams need to worry about 1156 rather than the other way around.
1156 has been to New York before Brazil developed more and became its own region. But they used to come up, and we had a great time with them at Tech Valley a few years ago. So they know they're a force to be reckoned with, and it'll be cool to have them back. We're excited.
That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, so with that, we're going to move into our number 6 spot. From Bolton, Ontario, Canada, it's the Alpha Dogs. With a record of 17-1-0, they were the district event winner at the Ontario District Durham College event, and they were the winner of the Excellence in Engineering Award. In perhaps one of the most uniquely shaped robots for Rebuilt, the Alpha Dogs built their robot around a central die rotor, curving the back of their robot to optimize for their hopper. The curved shape allows defense to kind of roll off of them, and their turret allows them to adjust for hard hits. Putting up the qualification high score of 581 and the highest OPR at the event, they seeded first and went on to win the event. We'll see them next at the Waterloo event in week 4. Good luck, 49-46. Awesome robot here. I love this thing.
Oh my goodness, right? It's so cool. I love uniquely shaped robots. It's always so fun, but even better is when uniquely shaped robots are uniquely incredible, and the Alpha Dogs definitely fit that.
This is my favorite robot of the year, and it's not even that close, to be honest. We joked early on, let's just build a really giant round robot with a die rotor, and the whole thing can be the die rotor. And well, they actually did it, and it's incredible.
I have no idea where they put their electronics. Like, seriously, that entire back is clear. Like, where did they go?
Right.
This was a team before when we had Waffles up that I confused the two on there. But yeah, this is such a cool design overall. And as you guys kind of mentioned already, creative designs are something that there's only so many metas that have really developed in these games, right? So it's kind of hard to find something that's more unique out there. So I always get very excited when you can find something like this, because we have such design convergence, which, it does raise that floor a lot for teams, but also kind of stunts some of that other cool creativity. So kudos to Alpha Dogs for really come up with something that's a bit more out there and makes us all just say, wow, that's really, really cool. As a side note, by the way, another Canadian team that released something today that made me say, wow, it was really cool. Did any of you guys see the release by not Stampede? What is their name? Why am I blanking? Thunderstamps. Thank you.
Holy cow.
Oh, we all saw it.
I mean, anyone can create an AI video, Tyler.
What? I can't.
I don't know how the heck they did that, but I'm really excited to see.
Magnets.
I mean, maybe. That's kind of the theory that our team had. It's like, a magnet tank tread. I honestly no idea, but I'm really excited for that one. Really quick on Alpha Dogs. I think they're putting up 14 or 15 balls per second. I think they're pretty much peaking what you can do in a single stream. I know 1323 is up there as well, but 14 balls per second as a team who's been trying to push a single stream shooter to go as quick as it can. That's incredible, and I want to shout that out.
Well, congratulations to Alpha Dogs and a great start to your season. We can't wait to see even more out of all the great teams we're seeing out of Ontario come out as well, too. So we're going to take a break, go through a couple things. We do have our clips of the week in just a moment, as well as our top 50 shoutouts and more. But let's go ahead and thank our friends at AndyMark for their continued support of fun. Don't forget, AndyMark continues to be that one-stop shop that you may need for all your solutions here in FRC and beyond. And don't forget, if you are attending championships, make sure you do check out their booth as well too at Worlds, and consider their Ship the Pit if they do offer that as well too. We're also going to be doing a giveaway from our friends at AndyMark for the color and proximity sensor as well too. So if you are interested in winning that, right now you can type in chat sensor, the word that's highlighted on screen right now. This is their sensors designed specifically for FRC and FTC teams, utilizing 1.5 pitch mounting holes. Sensor small footprint fits nicely in a 1-inch wide tube, easily swaps out sensors for reading distance, color, or position using the I2C communication, and head into matches worry-free with locking connectors. So once again, type sensor in chat. That is your keyword to win. And don't forget, for your YouTube sub, you do get some additional luck to win. And all you got to do is click subscribe in order to become a YouTube subscriber, so that in all fun content coming up. So we're going to dive into our clips of the week. So we've been changing things up with our clips of the week a little bit. Our future FRC top 25 correspondent as well too, Jeff Bunka, has been doing some additional commentary for it. We've made some changes to that, so we appreciate your feedback on that as well too. So we're going to dive just into his top 5 clips this week, and then we're going to release all the clips that were submitted that we're able to put on clips of the week after the show as well too. So let's take a look at Jeff's top 5 for this week and see what he has to say.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Jeff Bunka. I am the drive coach and an engineering mentor for Team 5895 Petty Robotics, and this is Clips of the Week. Week 2 is underway. Let's jump into our top 5 clips. All right, number 5 clip, 3538, the Robo Jackets out in First and Michigan. They end up spraying an entire payload of fuel over the Alliance Station wall. They cruise into the depot, fill up that depot into their hopper, and then, you guessed it, spray all of that across the field over the Alliance Station wall as well, flooding outside of the playing field. Event volunteers scrambling everywhere to try and clean up after them. Super entertaining from the Robo Jackets. Number 4, 3175 knocks their teammate 123 off the L1 as soon as they get on the controls. A little violent, but I love the enthusiasm. Our number 3 clip of the week is all about creativity. So what we see here is 8424 beaching their opponent, 2137 on an angled trench support on the blue side of the field. So again, I've not seen that attribute of the field used in that way. But again, 8424 with a high level of creativity here, really using the field to their advantage. Our number 2 clip, we're going out to California now. Silicon Valley District event, 254 pushes to the center. The Cheesy Poops end up floating on top of a volume of fuel, and you think they're done. But you should never count out 254. So they unload a payload, but then their robot, in autonomous, corrects itself, recovers, recollects, and ends up depositing a very impressive autonomous payload to close out their autonomous period after floating around for multiple seconds there. So excellent recovery, awesome implementation from the Cheesy Poops. And my favorite clip of the week, number 1, 340 has their E-stop hit by a ricochet from a fuel pushed in or shot in over the Alliance Station wall. Hats off to their opponents there. This might be some of the most effective defense I've seen all season.
And you can catch all the clips of the week, including our top 5, but then we'll post all the other ones as well, too. Be posted to our YouTube page shortly if you are watching live. And don't forget, you can submit clips of the week on our Discord as well, too. And thanks, everybody, for submitting. We'll be providing a random submitter a $25 gift card to our merch shop for submitting as well, too. So we really appreciate the community coming together for that. Let's dive into our top 50 shout-outs for this week. So these are teams that are ranked 26 through 50. Yeah, let's put them up on screen. Each one of us picked a team to talk a bit more about. When you have the FRC top 25 and there's over 1,000 teams competing practically every week, we can never mention enough. But if we did a top 50 show, it'd be a 5-hour show. So let's not do that, and instead showcase them on screen here. Pick out some great ones that we want to dive a bit more into. And let's start with James. Who do you want to give a shout out to for being in the top 50 this week?
Yes, my top 50 shout out, Tyler, is Team 190 Gumpy and the Herd. I couldn't believe that 190 didn't sneak into at least the start of the top 25. This robot's just awesome. Not only can it shoot and play rebuilt really effectively, they have an awesome windmill L3 climb that just showcases that as like a last second weapon. Here in Finals 1 of the FM Seneca event, here as time's expiring, to win by 4 points just simply gave me chills watching it. It's just one of those moments that is going to be a core memory for everybody. They're kind of struggling to get it up, and just watch this here as time's expiring for the win, the flip climb. That's the epitome of FRC right there. I love it. Incredible robot from 190. Excited to see you guys continue to play. Ryan, who is your top 50 team of the week?
Yeah, that is like a 330-esque, that 190 climb with 1 second left. It gives me 330 kind of echoes, right?
Yeah.
For me, my top 50 shout out is team 6369 Mercenary Robotics out of McKinney, Texas. They went 16-1, they're ranked number 2 in the entire Texas district. They were the winners of the San Antonio event. They ranked first. They also picked up the Engineering Inspiration Award. I want to show at minute 48, they're about to absolutely body a defender under the red trench. Watch them here. This should be a clip of the week if it's not. Just dominated them, pushed them over, proceeds to score. And that's in finals too. That's not some random qual match. Shout out to 6369, really fun robot. Their next event is the Waco event in week 3, so we don't have to wait long to see them again.
This is a side note that is in clips of the week too, so make sure you take a look at that. But yes, that is a great shot.
So my top 50 shout out of the week is going to go to team 3538, the Robo Jackets. They have an absolutely excellent robot this year, and they had a little bit of a slow start, but they are absolutely trending directly upwards, and this robot is going to compete with the best of the best in Michigan once it gets going. We saw some glimpses of it at this event this weekend where they ended up winning the event, so really cool to see. And they also took home the Impact Award this weekend, their first in team history, and with the amount of work that they do just in their community, it is so well deserved. So great to see them. So great to see them win that, and also debut their Midtown style robot in competition.
My shout out this week is going to be to a team that I kind of mentioned before because I really liked their alliance partner, and I think they're doing well. And an area that, once again, hasn't gotten that much recognition, but is starting to again, and that is going to be 6941 Iron Pulse Robotics, who competed at the Shanghai Regional this past week with our top 12 team as well. And overall, this team just has a really good robot. But I want to talk about their history a little bit. This team won their first event back in 2018, and then pretty much nothing, as China was gone for a long time. Also, they come back. They're starting to compete in Istanbul. They're starting to compete back in China again last year, winning the Shanghai Regional there, wins it again, and a team that has just consistently had awesome robots throughout their time. So congratulations to them. Their autonomous looks really good as well, and this is a team that going into the future events, I'm really looking forward to seeing. So congratulations to Iron Pulse Robotics for a great win and a back-to-back at the Shanghai Regional. Let's head into our top 5 teams as we wind down who's going to be taking our podium in the top 25 for week number 2. So, James, who do you got in our top 5? There's a familiar face here.
Yeah, here we go. So starting off our top 5, it's the Rising Star Team 9470 Control Alt Defeat, rocking a 228.2 total EPA. This third-year team, California, is truly a force to be reckoned with, being ranked in the top 5 for their second week here in a row. They also set the world record for the second week in a row, now boasting a wild 715 unpenalized points in a match alongside fellow team 254. 9470 has a double swipe auto that pairs well with their powerhouse friends, meaning they've joined the number one alliance at both the Half Moon Bay and now Silicon Valley District events and finished as the winner. Each instance just saw them taking home that blue banner in just 5 playoff matches. Truly domination. 9470 has a 34-0 record and is a legit contender for that NorCal DCMP. So watch out, or they may Control-Alt defeat your alliance. 9470 has speed, they have accuracy, they have swagger. Congratulations on a great robot here in Rebuilt, and keep on rolling. You are the favorite in the Week 2 FRC Top 25. What do you guys think of our new California powerhouse team?
Has anybody had more fun than 9470 in week 1 and 2?
I can't think of anybody, that's for sure.
Getting to destroy people with citrus and then destroy people with poofs. I mean, that's got to be the dream of any California team, right? That's incredible.
Having both world records both weeks.
Yeah.
This team is on a roll. It's crazy.
Yeah, and they are a huge contributor to those alliances. I don't want to just give credit to the traditional California powerhouses. 9470 is every bit earning their spot on those alliances, and they're fun to watch. All right, we're breaking into the top 5 now. At number 4 from Windham, New Hampshire, it's Team 3467 Windham Windup. Windham Windup has been flawless so far in 2026, going a perfect 34-0 in official play, winning both the Minuteman event and the Granite State event. At both events, they also took home the Industrial Design Award. That is an incredible combination of performance and engineering consistency through 2 straight weekends. Their first event win came alongside 63-28 and 36-23, and in week 2, they followed it up with another banner with 49-09, 12-77, and backup at 11-157. That second playoff run was especially impressive, with the Alliance consistently scoring over 400 points, peaking at 464 points. When 34-67 gets rolling, they can put matches away in a hurry. This robot is built around a very effective double shooter that's both accurate and capable of high rate of fire. It is a clean, efficient scoring package and has clearly translated into results. They don't look fluky. They don't look matchup dependent. They definitely don't look overwhelmed by the moment. And now the next big test for them comes with the New England District WPI event in week 5, where Windham Windup will try to keep that undefeated season alive. Is this the highest we've ever had, 34-67 in top 25?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been in top 25 many, many times. I don't think they've been in the top 5 before.
So well deserved here.
Yeah.
I think I've been watching a lot of Wyndham matches because, New England. But what sets them apart this year truly is how they're playing the game. And we talk about how California's playing, how New England's playing. It's all different. But the way that Wyndham is dealing with ball density, specifically going to their opponent's alliance zone, poaching through the trench, doing a full field cycle back and forth in order to go to their zone. That is what is brilliant and what is setting them apart and allowing them to win these matches. So maybe they're not scoring like in the 700s or 600s even, but they are preventing their opponents from scoring. And that is what is setting them apart this season. They're so fun to watch. I love this robot.
Hey, congratulations to Windham Windup, and can't wait to see your continued progress. Up next, Ari, let's head over to California, at least for one more time. Who do you got?
Sunny little California. All right. In our third spot, we have from Ventura, California, it's High Tide. With a record undefeated 17-0-0, they were the winner and Innovation and Control winner at the Ventura County event. High Tide debuted their beautiful black and teal machine this weekend at the Ventura District event, currently sporting the 4th highest EPA in the world. They used their large hopper and die rotor to turn the tide of the match. With high scores of 572 in qualifications and 558 in playoffs, 44-14 hit the supercharged ranking point a stunning 8 times through qualifications. We'll see them next at the Orange County event, and well-deserved placement here in the third spot. High Tide, 44-14. definitely came out this season and just absolutely was spot on, dominant from the beginning, and just incredible to see what they've brought to the field this early in the season.
I am so excited for California District Championship. When we get all these teams together, like it feels like they're mostly avoiding each other in a lot of these districts. We get one, maybe two of the really high-end teams together, but when they're forced to share a field, this game is going to be incredible.
Yeah, and
I mean, we're hitting 572 in quals, and that's at the regular district event. What's the average score of California District Champs going to be? Like something.
400 would be a average losing score. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
They will be crazy to watch. Unfortunately, I think High Tide's going to the SoCal Championships, so we'll get to have the party at the NorCal Championships with some of the other familiar faces around here. But still, will be really, really fun to watch.
These 2 championships.
Yeah, I know,
Straight
right?
back to 1.
I think a big question has been, are we going to break 1,000 for points? And my opinion would be is if it is going to happen, I think actually at like a NorCal Champs is where we're going to see something like that happen as well too, versus maybe even like Worlds or something where you're too reliant on those random pairings. When you're getting so many of those good teams grouped together and forced to compete with each other, I think that's where we're going to see something like that happen. Maybe SoCal too, 44-14. Not saying you can't do it also, but since we're mentioning Cal Champs, I think definitely potential to have it happen there.
Yeah, totally. And we'll see. High Tide's got 3 weeks before they compete again. We'll see what robot they bring. Probably a different robot. So
yeah, right.
Well, anyways, speaking of North California powerhouses, you might have guessed the top 2 robots on this list. Both robots are fantastic. Both robots are uniquely unstoppable. Both robots will certainly see clone attempts throughout the extended competition season. But without further ado, our number 2 ranked team is storming in from Madera, California. The reigning world champions, Team 1323, Madtown Robotics. Madtown has a beautiful turret task configuration and the world-class performance that we all know and love from our friends in Madera. Their 288.5 EPA puts them 3rd in the world, and they will look to set world records of their own as the season goes on. Their 17-0 record, and they won the San Francisco district here in week 2 as Madtown Red to win their 5th event together. Buckle up, though, for the Week 4 Central Valley District event as they'll reunite with their blue powerhouse friends. A world record matchup that you won't want to miss. Congratulations, Madtown, on another ridiculous robot in your number 2 ranking in the Week 2 FRC Top 25. And best of luck as you chase down your inaugural California DCMP victory this season.
What a wildly fun robot to watch. I mean, 9483 and 1323 are basically twins, right? And you could say, oh, who did it better? 1323 looks like they've got the edge in that regard. Their throughput's got to be, it's over 15 balls per second, right? And their shoot on the move is impeccable. I don't know that they, even when they get destroyed by defense, they're still putting it in. Their cleanup game is incredible. And for me, my favorite part is they look nothing like the number 1 team on our list. The design divergence among the top teams is really interesting. And speaking of number 1, oh, go ahead.
Just a good year to be a fridge.
Oh,
that's it.
Yeah, yep. Fridge spots for the win. And speaking of that number 1 team from San Jose, California, it's Team 254, the Cheesy Poofs. 254 has looked every bit like the best team in the world to start 2026. They're 16-1, and at the Silicon Valley event, they were dominant, finishing rank 1, winning the event, taking home excellence in engineering. They won the event alongside 9470 and 6665. They set a new world high score that we mentioned, 725 points, including 715 unpenalized. That's an absurd number. And somehow with this robot, it's completely and utterly believable. Because this machine is so ridiculous, 254, I believe they have the highest firing rate in FRC that I've seen. All the jokes the teams made about, oh, let's just build a 50-ball catapult. Well, 254 basically turned that into a reality. They're around 25 balls per second. they're absolutely unloading fuel at a rate that is hard to process in real time. I had to double check my settings on YouTube to make sure they weren't at 2x. It's one of the most entertaining scoring mechanisms just in general that I've ever seen in FRC. And the scary part is 254 is the only team above the 300 EPA threshold, and it tells you a little bit about how far ahead of the rest of the world they are. Honestly, the only thing slowing them down is an inactive hub for those who watch certain matches. This is a robot with overwhelming firepower, elite engineering, the kind of ceiling that can redefine what top-end scoring looks like. Their next event is the Central Valley event in week 4, and it'll be no surprise at all to see 254 continue to dominate.
Yeah, what a robot, right? I mean, just incredible. Poofs are back, guys. They got a great robot again this year, and really fun to watch. Really had a lot of interesting things happen to them in those matches. You had the first match, they surfed through the middle. That was pretty interesting. They had a match where I think it was team 115 went and blocked them in auto and took I think 3 or 4 major fouls, but stopped their auton. And in reality, it actually probably saved them. It was the first time that Poofs lost auto, and that time they realized it. But then they had the other match where they didn't realize it. That you referenced there, Ryan. That was certainly interesting too. But yeah, lots to learn from Poofs.
Can we acknowledge that the first thing you mentioned, they're auto recovering from being beached? What the heck was that? How does that pose estimation in Spain? I'm very jealous. And then obviously the inactive hub match. I want to acknowledge the positive there that they won the match with only scoring in an active hub during endgame. That's crazy. That's stupid. That's crazy.
I think the most interesting thing about this robot to me is how little amount of time they actually spend firing. Because they go into the zone. It's maybe 2 seconds, and they have evacuated their entire hopper. It's just gone. It's all in the hub. And with this game being, it's cool that we get to see all these robots shooting at the hub, and it's high rate of fire, and 254 is just done. This robot is so different.
They turned it into a cycling game.
So many. They really did. They're cycling the one set of 50 game pieces. It's great.
2 seconds, 25 balls a second, 50 balls. It's a cycling game for them. They're literally playing a different game than everybody else.
Yeah.
This game really makes me yearn for streams that are at least 60 FPS or higher, because all I see is this huge blur every time these teams shoot at this incredible speed. So, but no, I mean, James, you mentioned something where you said, Poofs are back with another great robot this year, something like that. And it's just funny when you think about Poofs, because they still had a good robot last year and stuff, but I think the correct way is they're back where everybody expects them to be immediately, because we have these crazy high expectations for them, but they have it already, right? And Poofs overall are just, the robots like that make this game an incredible spectator sport to watch, and to have people that are not in robotics or not as attuned to it or something like that can watch this, and they get that wow factor for things. And to me, that excites me, because when you have an organization that is going to be desperately trying to raise money and going through a lot of things right now, when you can point to things like that and be like, hey, this is something that you really should support, that to me tends to be way more exciting than just picking up a game piece and placing and stuff like that. And which just goes to how well this game is designed by the game design committee, which, by the way, kudos being, I think, mostly First alumni, right? So imagine that. They build good games. So, but overall, this is a great game, great teams that are creating incredible robots so early. I mean, I'm just going to say, as somebody who's been in this for 26 years now, I am truly starting to feel like the old man out there, because I can't keep up with everything that's going on. I literally am watching these, and it's just so incredibly difficult for me to understand, what is exactly taking place and all the little nuances, because instead of it being, here's this robot that is incredibly different than the other, it's more these are the tweaks that are made these robots better. And, when we watch, F1 and they relate, how much you see with the Gene Haas Foundation and stuff related to F1, it really makes me think how close this is to something like Formula One, because you look at those, if you're watching F1, completely new set of cars this year and new power units and stuff like that. It's very similar to what FRC is, and it really does make me appreciate how much these teams put into things. So just want to give a shout out to these teams and the game design committee for all their awesome stuff that they're doing. End of old man rant there. But congratulations to all the teams that have made the FRC Top 25 for week number 2. Let's go ahead and draw that giveaway for our friends at AnyMark. Once again, that was for the sensor. So if you do win that, please go to funroboxnetwork.com/winners, and we'll get you that information as well. And that's going to be Benjamin Bizzle 9228. Congratulations of taking it home. Go to funroboxnetwork.com/winners, and we'll get that out to you. And thanks again to AnyMark for the awesome giveaway. So real quick around the horn, we'll just start with everybody of where you're going to be watching or at this week. Ari, let's start with you. What are you going to be watching or where are you going to be at?
Sure. So my team competes for the first time in week 3. Team 8085 is competing at the Waterbury District event, and we're very scared of Aces High and Mechanical Advantage, but very excited to take to the field for the first time. I will be over in Indiana at the Columbus District event. If you're there, come say hi. And watching everything else that happens otherwise during the rest of the week, because I think week 3 is going to be pretty exciting. James, what are you watching this week?
Yeah, I'll be at the First of Michigan Muskegon event, both on assignment with fun and cheering on Team 107 at their first event. So excited for that. I know they're getting really ready and excited, and I'm excited to cheer them along and get some good interview content as well. So looking forward to seeing this game in person, because it's going to be fun to watch. Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, for me, we'll be competing at a kind of a scrimmage event called the Shamrock Showdown. It's a event hosted by a local team on their basically real FRC field, and I think there'd be 13, 14 teams in attendance, all local. Great opportunity to get new members involved, different roles, stuff like that, and to gear up for the competition season that we all have ahead of us. So I'll also be a bandwagon fan watching elite teams from around the country, around the world. Very excited to relax and not have a high stake in anything this week. So Tyler, how about you?
It has been a long couple of weeks, and it's going to be a long week for me again, but I'm very excited. I am heading on a flight out to Sacramento to go up to catch that event with some awesome teams. We may also be filming a behind-the-scenes shop tour at a certain team out in Sacramento area too, so keep an eye out for that. I don't know how quickly we're going to be able to get that released just with the season, but I'm very excited for that. And then I'm on a red-eye flight back home to go to a local event. My high school is hosting a district event for the first time with the Wisconsin Going District, so I'm in Sacramento Friday and Saturday, and then Saturday night fly back home for Sunday for the First in Wisconsin Appleton event. So I'm very excited for that as well too. It just feels cool to have an event at your old high school. Like, we've never had one before, and I'm very excited to make it back. I'll be really tired, but I'm very excited.
You gonna guest MC? You're gonna do anything like that?
They haven't asked me or anything, so I'm going to guest show up and then fall asleep probably. But but no, I'll try to grab a couple pit stops there as well. But I'm just excited to cheer on my old team, and this just seeing an event at my old high school is just something that, I don't know, just makes me feel good, So, all right. Well, thank you to everybody for tuning in to the FRC Top 25 week number 2. And thank you to all who voted as well, too. Don't forget that you can vote on Sundays, usually opening up by 5 p.m. Eastern, and closes Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern at funroboxnetwork.com/FRC Top 25, or click the link, or check T-Delphi, or check the Discord, or any of the socials, or anywhere else that we post it. But thank you, everybody, for the 100% vote every single week. Also, thank you to everybody who either clicked that subscribe button or helped support Fun by becoming a member or supporter through YouTube Join, where you get early access to content, including those behind the bumpers that we posted today as well, too, and many other pit stops and other great content that we have. Don't forget, you can watch the FRC Top 25 archive anytime on YouTube or on demand directly after this, and all the other great content coming out on youtube.com/@FunRoboticsNetwork and across our socials as well, as we have tons of content coming out for you. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Congratulations to all of our teams, and we'll see you next week, same place, same time, on the FRC Top 25. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay up to date on future fun videos. As you're getting ready for the competition season, think AnyMark as your one-stop shop for all your team needs. AnyMark's Launcher in a Box is a configurable solution that so many teams are finding success with for the rebuilt season. Also available at anymark.com, the AMPD AnyMark power distribution board that provides 24 40-amp independently fused output channels for safe, reliable power distribution. That's anymark.com. It isn't too late to order competition apparel for your team at FRC Tees. Founded by First alumni and offering a free 14-day turnaround with expedited options available, go to frctees.com to see why hundreds of teams are making FRC Tees their first choice for their apparel needs. That's